everyone, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be here today and allow me to teach you how to make my world famous banana bread. Okay, so maybe it's not world famous, but it is famous in my family and hopefully in yours too. Normally when I bake banana bread, I make a triple batch because it goes fast and my dad is very stingy with it. However, today I'll be only making a single batch so I can show you how the process is done. So the first thing you're going to want to do before you even start mashing any bananas is you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Now that you have that done, we're going to start mashing 2 to 3 bananas. As you can tell, I've kind of already started mashing them, so I'm just going to give them another quick mash. I like to use a fork, but if you want, you can use a potato masher. You really want extremely ripened bananas, but if they're not quite ripened, you can put them in the oven at 300 degrees for 40 minutes or until the peels become a shiny black. But if you're like me and very impatient, you can also put them in the microwave for 30-second intervals and make sure you poke holes in there in the peel. So now that we have the bananas mashed, I'm going to go ahead and add our first thing. You're going to add about 1/3 of a cup of melted butter to your mashed bananas. And give that a good stir. So you want to stir until all of the butter is completely mixed into the mashed bananas. Something like that. And then next we are going to mix in our baking soda, which it's going to be a teaspoon of baking soda goes in there, and a pinch of salt. Give it a good stir again. Now we're going to stir in the sugar and a beaten egg. Let's go ahead and just beat that right in there. So we'll put that in there and then add the sugar. It's going to be a cup of sugar, 3/4 to a cup, however sweet you want it. It's up to you. Stir that again. It's going to start to get a little bit thicker and more fuller as you add things. We are going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Just like that, a little more. Stir that in. And last but not least, you're going to add in your flour. So you're going to do 1.5 cups of flour. And stir that in until it's all mixed together. You can kind of see that it's starting to get a little more thick. The flour is really what takes the longest. All right, and there you have it, the finished almost finished product. Next we're gonna take I like to use a small loaf pan just because they bake more evenly, and you're gonna wanna grease it beforehand. And we'll just take that and pour our batter in there. Shake it out until it's a little even. You can kind of spread it in there with your spatula. And then we'll just take it and put it in the oven for 60 minutes, depending on where you live. If you're at a higher altitude, you might want to do less than 60 minutes, and I will check back in when it's finished. Now that the banana bread is out of the oven, you can either allow it to cool completely, or you can allow it to cool for a little bit and then eat it while it's still warm. I have one. It's already out of the pan. We can go ahead and cut into that. I'll show you what it looks like in the inside. There you have it. Some homemade banana bread.